awesome secrets that you did not know about Fantasyland.
Hey Insiders! This is fact number 1, takes place right here at Sleeping Beauty's castle.
So when Disneyland was first built, there was one single pin in the center of the park, and it's still there today.
It is. Now, this was the center of the park in 1955. So that means that was before Galaxy's Edge, before Splash Mountain, or Critter Country, or Toontown.
Before any of the expansions to the park.
Exactly.
But
so,
it's still kind of cool that we have the center of the park here at Disneyland.
For what it used to be in 1955, and it kind of helps us remember that the park used to be a lot smaller than we know it to be today.
So let's go check it out.
But come on guys, it's right here underneath Sleeping Beauty's castle. Alright guys, so before we get started, I do have to say that we spent the last 10 days in the park, and I have absolutely lost my voice.
Screaming on rides, just having the best time.
Yes, but I promise the facts are still good.
They are.
So the coolest part about this spike to me is that that's how they knew to line up Main Street with the castle when they were building Disneyland. It's literally a construction pin that's been there before the park was open, and it's still here today, 67 years later almost, not quite, but almost 67 years. So one of the most crowded areas of the park, so we're gonna have to be really fast when we show you guys the second we get a clearing. But yeah, it's pretty awesome, and like Adam Care we're talking about, that goes to show how much smaller Disneyland was before all these expansions.
All right, we have a break.
All right, here it is right here.
Oh, there it is!
This spike right here, it's
The
under
very
the castle.
center of the park.
It's right under the chandelier actually, if you take a look.
And it's got a nice breeze.
That's how you can find it. There's a nice breeze, and that's how it goes. It's pretty cool.
Let's move on to fact number 2.
All right, so if we're gonna tell you a fact about King Arthur's Carousel, we have to be riding King Arthur's Carousel, right, Kara?
So let's get on the carousel right now and we'll tell you fact number 2.
Here we go. Walt Disney loved to go to the carousel at Griffith Park, and at that carousel there was only one horse that was painted white, and it was seen as the special horse because that was the type that King Arthur rode. And kids constantly fought over who got to sit on the white horse.
Walt decided that since Disneyland is a happy place, there would be no fights and every carousel horse would be white. All right, we are on the carousel now, which means we have to do our princess waves.
All right, now something I want to tell you guys about King Arthur's Carousel as I'm riding up and down is that there are 72 horses on here and all of them have names, which is pretty crazy.
That being said, there is one special horse on the carousel. Let me introduce you to Jingles. Jingles was dedicated to Julie Andrews in 2008.
This is the horse that she rode in Mary Poppins. It's amazing.
Look at how cool, look at all the details. You can see Mary Poppins here, a 50 here because it was the 50th anniversary,
Julie Andrews.
and Mary Poppins boots, of course.
Even an umbrella on the back.
It's so cool.
Alright, so for fact number 3, we're gonna be pulling the sword out of the stone.
Or at least telling you about it.
Alright, Eric, are you ready? Let's pull the sword out of the stone. Oh man,
It's not working.
I got it.
Alright, so it's time that you guys learn the fact. As you see, this sword does not budge from the stone, but it used to, and that's what's very cool.
Now, the sword can only come out of the stone if Merlin is present.
There is a magic show that they used to do here at Disneyland, and when Merlin was around, somebody could pull the sword out of the stone. It was very cool.
Oh.
We're not there today.
It was generally a young kid who could do it too.
Now, one time, somebody did muscle it out.
That was
Pretty
kind of
cool
funny,
spot.
but guys, this is the Sword in the Stone. It's a great photo op.
I know, it makes
and
for some pretty cool
it does
pictures.
actually come out of
There
the
is a
stone.
full sword here. People always ask us, so like, does it end here and it's just like the hilt?
No, but this
This
sword,
is a real sword that sits here.
and it actually comes out of the stone.
Pretty awesome.
This is the Matterhorn, and while it bridges the gap between Fantasyland and Tomorrowland, it is still technically a Fantasyland ride.
Fact number 4 is that there is a basketball hoop in the top of Matterhorn in the break room. It's pretty awesome. It's up there. When they did the construction at first, their break room was at the very top, and there's a basketball court up there.
Now, this is a very common known fact, so this is not the secret you didn't know. That is actually coming up right now.
So for fact number 4, we're telling you the single biggest myth about the Matterhorn.
So the famous story is that the Matterhorn was too tall, and at the time it was built, there was a law in place that only sports facilities could be that particular height. So Walt, to circumvent this rule from the Matterhorn, put a half basketball court at the top. This is unfortunately not true.
And so while this whole story may not be true, it is a great example of Walt Disney's ingenuity, and it is absolutely something he would do. And yes, there is a basketball hoop up there as seen in the Imagineering story. It just happens to not be this very intricate tale that even cast members have told us.
So when we talked to Bob Gurr, he actually said it was break time, we were bored, one guy had a hoop and one guy had a basketball, and we put it up there and started playing. So you know, it's kind of a more casual, chill story, but they've left it there ever since. So I think that makes it kind of cooler.
Now, something we want to talk about for fact number 5 is that Fantasyland was a land of first when Walt Disney built it, and even still today. And there are some pretty amazing stories to go with that, starting with Casey Jr.'s train right here. This was the very first roller coaster that Walt Disney ever built. It is classified as a roller coaster due to the way that the track is built and how when he goes up the hill, when he's doing like the little engine that could, the chain pulls it up the hill and then he free falls down the hill and coasts for the rest of the ride.
The Wind in the Willows is actually the first story that Walt Disney ever bought the rights to and then turned into a film, and that is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Peter Pan is the first because Peter Pan is the first lead role that Walt Disney got when he was a kid. Actually, it's a really funny story. The wire he was flying on broke over the crowd. He was fine. The crowd broke his fall, but, you know, it's one of my favorite Walt Disney stories.
Snow White was also the first full-length animated feature, not just by Walt Disney, but ever.
Alice in Wonderland is also a first for Walt Disney because it goes all the way back to his first production company back in, where did he live? Missouri. Hi.
Hi, Alice. We're talking
about you.
Do you need an introduction to this ride?
Yes, can you?
This is my ride. And you go down the rabbit hole and you get to have a tea party. And you get to see the matching cards. Make sure you bow to the Queen.
Oh, of course, always.
Write that down. It's very important.
All right.
We will. All right, so she told us to make sure to bow to the Queen or else she'll, you know, off with your head.
Exactly. So be careful around the Queen, and she goes down the rabbit hole, and we can go down too if we ride Alice in Wonderland.
Yep, and actually Alice in Wonderland is a first for Walt Disney as well.
So Walt Disney's first production company when he was still doing film in Marceline, Missouri was called Laugh-O-Gram Productions.
And one of the things that they produced was Alice's Wonderland and a series of Alice comedies. Of course, we eventually saw it as the animated story we know and love, but before that, they made a bunch of shorts with Virginia Davis, and it was definitely a first for Walt Disney.
Yes, it was his first film project that he really put his heart and soul into, and we love that it has a ride here at Disneyland. And of course, the Carousel here, King Arthur's Carousel, is modeled after the Carousel in Griffith Park, where Walt Disney used to take his girls on the weekends, and that's where he got the first idea of Disneyland. He saw a place where children and adults could have fun together. So there you have it, insiders. Those are 5 things that you didn't know about Fantasyland.
We hope you learned something new from this video.
And we hope that you will subscribe for more awesome videos and more things that you didn't know about the parks that we all love.
If you want to learn 5 things you didn't know about Main Street USA Disneyland, check out this video right here.
All right, bye guys. Have a great day.
Next time, bye.